My dad abused me when I was 6 years old and lied to my family. I am 18 years old female bio dad, 37 male who is a horrible human being and I hate him with all my guts. I am telling my story down only because I want it out of myself. I have no one to talk about it, and even though I'm over it, I find myself getting zoomed out, have panic attacks, and can't sleep peacefully. It's been a long since it happened, and even though I joke about my life like I say it's like a soap opera, maybe I just need to get it out of my chest somehow. So just to be clear, my bio dad no longer lives with us, and I haven't seen him for 3 years, although he tried to connect with me for my time. I have 2 little brother, one is 15 years old, and the second is 10 years, and my wonderful mom, 39, is pregnant, so I guess I will have another sibling from my stepfather, 35M. I adore my family, they're my everything, but they're also the cause of the traumas I have. Back then when I was 6 years old and my brother was 4 years, my mom had 2 jobs at the same time so she could afford bills and other expenses, while my bio dad was at home taking care of us. What it means is he cooked something for us or ordered, then left I for cleaning or to put my brother sleep. Now let's be real, a 6 years old won't clean up everything without forgetting something or doing it wrong, so my mom, when she got home, needed to do this too. Bio dad had really good magic that only a few people able to do, and his superpower was that he was able to be always drunk without alcohol at home. I mean, we never had any alcohol at home, and yet while he was always at home, he was always drunk. Anyway, maybe it is drunkenness or not, he looked at me differently. I remember he asked me to wear less clothes while sleeping next to him. Once he showed me videos, yes, those videos, and I watched it with a frown. I was worried for the woman because she whined and made weird noises. I asked my dad if it hurts to the lady, then why they keep doing it. I don't think I need to explain it further. What happened after that is that I was scared. Everything hurt and I'm not sure, but maybe I even saw blood. I tried to blur those memories, but it only worked on the half story. After this incident, he made me promise I wouldn't tell anyone and that it's a normal thing a father do. So I kept it shut. When he realized I wouldn't say anything, he continued to do it, tricking me by making it seem like it's an innocent cartoon watching or we're playing. I always broke down crying and screaming, saying it hurts, while he says it hurts him too, so I should shut it. Over the years, he only did it when my little brother, let's call him Jay, had a nap time. He never woke up because bio dad tried to cover my mouth. After some time, although he couldn't care less, and when Jay was old enough and didn't need nap time anymore, he just locked him in the room. I remember poor Jay was crying and begging on the door, asking why I was crying so much. Maybe he was scared. And when bio had enough, he unlocked the door and beat him. I still feel horrible for just watching it and not doing anything to stop him from hurting Jay. I still couldn't forgive myself. I let it happen several times. Luckily, it stopped when Jay learned he's better if he says silent and doesn't do anything. Everyone is asking how mom never noticed what was going on. Dad always beat us or went rougher with me when Jay wanted to tell anyone what happened. And about the beating, he somehow never left any mark or bruises on us, and mom was too tired. Once I and Jay had a sleepover at my grandmother's house, she got a call out of nowhere. Mom and bio dad had a fight at that night, and dad tried to kill my mom by drowning her in the bathtub. There's no evidence of this, but I'm pretty sure he planned on doing this because the bathtub was full. Luckily, my mom wasn't stupid and weak, and she used to go box when she was younger. She got out of his hands and ran in the kitchen. Unfortunately, she didn't grab the knife, but instead, when he got after her, she grabbed a hammer, you know, the kitchen hammer or what, and slammed it right on his head. At that time, my other brother, maybe Lev, was only a baby. The other part one don't know. That's all the info I got so far after the years, but if I calculate right, mom ran out of the house to shout for help and the neighbors called the police. When mom went back to grab Lev, dad had him and tried to attack mom again. Now this may seem a bit confusing to you, but bio dad was obsessed with Lev, like he was only child. Also, mom always thought bio dad would never hurt anyone, so when the neighbors came to help, she went inside in their home, fainted, and ambulance took her to the hospital. And now right back to us. Grandma got the call from the hospital and she was devastated. After long crying, I finally managed to get out of her what happened, and I was livid. So then, and there, I told her everything that happened and what dad did. After the rest I don't remember. Jay didn't back me up, and I can understand why. He was still afraid of bio D. Anyway, after that the police had their filthy hands in there and asked for proof. We went to the doctor for checkup or what you call, and let me tell you, it wasn't pleasant. I was little, so when they checked me in the wrong way, from the front and not from back, the test results came negative. So my dad got clean after everything. Mom got disappointed, which is also understandable. After all, if you think your child lied about something like this, you would be too. But Mom also wasn't the sharpest, and somehow she let Dad back in our lives. Maybe because the struggles of money and no one is there to take care of us while she worked, but letting him back made me realize how little she thought of herself. After this, Dad continued to use me, and after this whole thing happened, when he first got me in bed, I screamed loud enough and started kicking, and since it was hurtful for him, and also we lived in a sublease, pretty much everyone heard my screams. He stopped and pushed me to the ground, saying, "If you ever tell anyone again, then I won't be nice to you." I don't remember too much what happened then. Lev or Jay, they're out of the picture for me, but I'm sorry, it was almost 8 years ago, and from this time, I don't remember supplementary information. Oh, by the way, at that time, I also went to a psychiatrist almost daily because a school incident where I told a friend everything, and you know how kids are. It spread like fire, and pretty much everyone knew in the whole school. They also made fun of me, calling me names, saying stuff like, "At least my dad didn't SA me," or "At least my dad didn't stick his dick inside me." It wasn't pretty, and it got into the principal's ears and called Child Protection Service, or how it's called. So at the psychologist, I met a guy named Sebastian, and we clicked. He was older than me. At that time I was 12 and he was in high school. He also had family problems at home. His life was a living hell. He was abused, his bones broke a few times because of his father, and his siblings wasn't nice at all. Luckily, he got safe when he turned 15 and got adopted by his grandparents. Although he needed to go to the psychiatrist, he warned me not to trust in the woman who he goes, and he was right because she told everyone who said what, even outsiders. So at her classes, or again what called, I was only playing or drawing or diss my homework. Unfortunately, Sebastian and I once got into a fight because I was selfish. I was so done with everything, the bullying in school, my dad never stopping, and that he kept self-harming himself. I tried to make him stop or to make him talk to me, but he always brushed my concerns off with a bright smile. He fooled me a lot of times, but over the years I learned to know what his smile really means. He struggled more than I thought, and when I knew it I confronted him, asking why can't he trust me or tell me what's the problem when I did nothing, and only ran to him crying while he comforted me. Why couldn't I do the same? Why couldn't he let me do the same? One thing led to another, and I left the argument saying I wish we never met. It was childish, but it hurt him deeply. On August 16th, 2019, he offed himself, the very next week after our argument. I know it's my fault, that I was a horrible friend, and I still have nightmares with him, or maybe good dreams. I don't know how to describe. Anyway, after that I didn't protest when it came to BioDad. I was sure it was karma and I deserved it. To get on a happier part, there's a lot I could talk about, like how my mom reacted or why I said in the beginning that my family also part is the trauma, but it's already a long story and my fingers hurts. It's 11:30 p.m. and I need to wake up early. The main point is, everyone thinks I lied about it. Lev doesn't remember a thing, and Jay, even though he does, and we never really talked about it. It's also a deep wound for him, and he has his own story and trauma with our dear BioD, but maybe it's another time. I usually joke about it while I talk to myself, which is maybe a bit concerning, but never mind. My life is on track now, but maybe if I share my story here, I open people's eyes. Not everything is what we see. I keep up my smile and am the hyperactive, annoying friend to everyone and the lazy but smart and beautiful sister, daughter to my family. If you have a question, write it down. I'll make sure to read it and respond.